Alright, what's up, guys? This concludes in what seems to be the final part of this first series of the creepiest urban legends in each of these 5 states. So, we just finished talking about the Bandage Man and how that one was extremely scary, and the boy and the girl that first encountered the Bandage Man, which, like I said, is very, very, very horrifying and terrifying at the same time. So, like I said, nobody's really safe anywhere, no matter where you go. Like, you can be in where I'm living at right now. Like, I know I'm not safe anywhere, but whatever happens, happens, and I know we're all gonna hit that point sooner or later to where we're gonna die. But right now, it's not gonna happen. I'm not letting it happen. I'm not trying to let it happen. So I'm living my life to its fullest. But I want to know is the information. That's what I want to know. I want to know about the truth and what ended up happening before we even existed around here. So that way I know what to watch out for. But anyways, we are jumping into our last state of the 5 states that we have talked about so far. So far we have hit Georgia, we've hit Nebraska, we've hit New York, and we have just hit Oregon. And we just hit Oregon. Yes, so we had did Oregon, New York, Nebraska, and Georgia. We've done all 4 of them. So now it's time for the final one. And the final one is Minnesota. I know it's in small print, so like I said, it's hard to see. But yes, Minnesota is the very last one that we are going to be talking about today. Now, like I said, I've never been to Minnesota before, so I don't know what to expect. I don't know what's going to be there. All I know is that it's obviously going to be scary because it's the creepiest places, the most haunted places, the most excruciating, tormented, and death trapping type of places to where no one's really going to feel safe in any of these places. And that's what we're here to, scoop out. We're here to scoop those places out so we can figure out what not to go to and what places we can look out for. Because obviously, if you're traveling around, you definitely want to be aware of your surroundings. Because if you're not going to know, obviously, what's going to hit you. And you don't want that. So, I'm really hoping you guys are ready for this final one, because if you guys are, awesome, because I am also ready as well. And believe it or not, it's going to be scary. Like, I'm probably going to be scared, because I've already been scared for like the past 2 or 3 that I've done, and I've been trying to look back and making sure no one was there. I mean, I haven't heard any noises, so obviously I'm fine. But, trying to make sure that there's nothing sitting behind me or standing behind me or wailing its weapon around me or anything like that, because obviously I don't want nothing trying to come in. I'm actually going... This actually is a good one. I'm actually glad I actually picked this one out, because this one is going to be a little bit more in detail than I thought it would be, because you guys probably won't believe it, and I definitely didn't believe it. I didn't even know this actually even existed. Like I said, I don't even know much about stuff that goes on around in some of these other states, so I'm kind of anxious to figure out what's going on. So the Kensington Runestone is the most, I was gonna say prestigious stone in Minnesota, and this goes all the way back to like Vikings and pirates. Now, this stone was obviously displayed in Alexandria, Minnesota. I will show you guys a picture in just a bit. So this all happened in 1898. A Swedish American farmer found a gigantic slab of rock on his farm that had symbols that appeared to be Norse. And since then, no one was able to figure out where it all came from. So official historians and what YouTubers will call debunked. They debunked it. They tried to nail it down. They narrowed it down to whatever they could possibly get it to figure out what this all came from. And the historians have found that the Vikings had possibly made an appearance in North America way before Christopher Columbus had. The myth was persisted. And if it wasn't the Vikings, who left that mysterious rock, and what does it say? And that's what we're about to find out. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what it looks like, so that way you can kind of get an understanding. Now, obviously, I don't understand the readings on it because it's in Norse. So Norse is obviously a different language that I obviously don't know about and never heard of. So if you look online at you go to Google, you type in the Kensington Runestone, you'll definitely figure out that this is what it looks like, and you may end up figuring out what it ends up actually saying. So basically, for about 800 years, Scandinavians, I think that's how you say it. Like I said, I'm not too good with like pronunciation of stuff that I feel like I should know but don't really know. Scandinavians carved and erected stone monuments to their achievements, family members, dead and alive, not dead or alive, dead and alive, property, and their beliefs. These runestones were erected throughout the region between the 4th century AD and the end of the Viking Age in the 12th century AD. Like, obviously this was way before we were born, so 300 years they were carved. All these runestones were carved way before the Viking onslaught on Europe and Russia, and approximately 100 years after the traditional pagan Viking territories were Christianized. Most of the runestones known to us today stand in Sweden, approximately 2,000, with others in lesser amounts in Denmark, which are 250, so there were a lot more runestones in Sweden than in Denmark, Norway, and British Isles. So if you go to Sweden, you'll find a bunch of these runestones. A bunch. So Denmark has about 250 runestones, Norway has about 50, and British Isles have at least about 40. Needless to say, there was actually a runestone discovered in Berezin Island in the Dnieper River in Ukraine, which was a trade route for the Swedish Vikings in the eastern side. Surprisingly, there are no known Viking Age runestones on Iceland. So here's a picture of what it looks like. Obviously, I guess that's the runestone that they found in the earlier ages. And that runestone was the Lynxbird runestone. That's the one in Sweden. So basically, this Kensingston is in Minnesota, USA, over 2,700 miles away from Lansing, Ox Meadows, Newfoundland, Canada. the only place in the Western Hemisphere recognized as a landing site for Norse adventurers during the Viking Age. So, Swedish immigrant Olof Oman announced that he had discovered a type of sandstone steel while clearing his land near the town of Solem, Minnesota. He brought the 200 plus pound stone to nearby Kensington, hence the name, and the local bank put it on display. No questions asked, though a trace paper sketch of the runic characters on the stone was sent to the University of Minnesota. So the translation reads as follows, though in the intervening time, while some have changed a word or two of the translation with more thorough knowledge of the runes, it remains relatively unchanged. Let me try to see if I can figure out. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to try to see if I can figure out what it actually says, because it would obviously make it a lot more clear if I knew exactly what it would actually say on this runestone. Because like I said, I don't speak Swedish, I don't speak Norway, I don't speak I barely even speak anything else except English and Spanish. That's it. That's all I speak. Okay, so I'm about to translate what the runestone actually says. So if you guys are ready, I'm ready. So basically, what it says, I'm going to read this word for word so that way you guys can even understand what it says. It says, eight Geats, or Gotlanders. That's how they would pronunciate it, I guess. I think. Yeah, so 8 Geats and 22 Norwegians on an exploration journey from Vinland to the west. We had camped by 2 skerries 1 day's journey north from the stone. We were out to fish 1 day. After we came home, we found 10 men red of blood and dead. A Virgo Maria, save us from evil. We have 10 men by the sea to look after our ships. 14 days travel from this island in the year 1362. So that's basically what the message reads. Obviously, if anybody has any, not if anybody has, if anybody knew the history behind it, they would actually understand exactly what may have happened during that time. And it's really one of those things where it's like, you really want to find out more so you can kind of get a better understanding of what may have occurred during that time, what happened during that time. I mean, most people are probably going to most people are going to probably wonder where this runestone is probably located at now. I mean, it could still be in Sweden. It may end up being somewhere else. Probably Norway or British, maybe even Germany. Who knows? It's somewhere. I don't know where it's located now, but that's one of the most popular the popular runestones known to Minnesota. So I'm going to try to read what it literally says word for word. So I'm going to try to read it from another perspective. So just kind of bear with me here. It says, 8 Gotlanders and 22 Northmen on this acquisition journey from Vinland far to the west. We had to camp by 2 shelters, 1 day's journey north from this stone. We were fishing one day. After we came home, found 10 men, red full blood and dead. Ave Maria, save us from evil. And that particular inscription, Ave Maria, save from evil, was literally written and inscripted, not inscripted, but encrypted on the side of the stone. So if you look on the side of the stone, maybe from the left to right, you'll see that particular statement written on there. It says, there are 10 men by the inland sea to look after our ships, 14 days journey from this peninsula, which is basically an island, year 1362. So that's another way that they put it too as well. So it's really interesting to see some of the stuff they may have found that was there before we even existed as humans. So it's really, really interesting to see the stuff that you may end up finding, and who knows, maybe if I do run into it, if I ever go to Minnesota, maybe I might try to get a picture of it and be like, hey, so I ended up finding this particular runestone, and it's surprising that we took all this time and we actually were able to go and actually track it down and locate it. And now that we got the picture of it, obviously I'm not taking it with me because I don't want any of the history behind it to follow me home. So it is nice to see that, you find some of these nice artifacts about stuff that happened way before our time. So, like I said, it's really interesting. Here's the runestone, and let me get you guys a better picture of what it looks like. So here's what it looks like. I think that might have been how it looked like when it maybe first got there. I don't know. So that's what the runestone kind of looks like. And like I said, you guys go to Google and you can kind of get a better view of it, because it is hard to see. Oh boy. Whew. Very interesting though. Very, very interesting to see the stuff that we end up finding and seeing before our time. And it's very interesting to know that there may have been other things, other type of humans, whether it was Vikings, pirates. Like, you would find it very interesting to find out that these particular type of people were actually here way before our century came around, our millennium came around. And it's like, wow, like, that's really interesting. Like, you wouldn't think that, somebody would make it up and be like, oh yeah, so, they had, pirates and Vikings around here way before our time. So whether it was like maybe 17 years AD or 4th century, like, you wouldn't think to know that they would be making this up. Like, it could be true, and it may end up being true, and possibly is, for all I know. Like, you never know. You just never know. And it's always interesting to see the things that you may find that might interest you. And that's one of the things I never would have ran into either. I actually thought it was going to be like a scary haunted place, not some interesting artificial runestone that somebody found and put on display and somewhere in Sweden, maybe for like a good price. So that person's probably rich off of finding something that was there like years and years and years and years and years and years and years ago. Well, that's crazy. That is crazy, but interesting at the same time. So, just to give a big awareness, if you guys find anything that was, there for like a long time, way before we were, existing, take it to somebody who may have history behind it and find out what they know. They might know something about it. And they might put it on display and might actually give you some money for it and actually they'll actually give you like a good amount of money. But of course, you have to, find a rich person that's willing to give you a good amount of money for it. But anyways, that concludes the top 5 creepiest places in those 5 states. the most creepiest places in those 5 states. So, like I said, I do apologize for taking so long to be able to do these videos, and I want to be able to do these videos with you guys so that way you guys can always have something to watch. Um, I am going to make sure that I'm able to keep up to date on YouTube and be able to get everything done in school so that way I can be finished with that and then be able to, keep up with, not internet, but YouTube, so that way you guys will always be able to have content on this channel to watch. Make sure you guys like, and we are getting ourselves set up for the Kira Con coming up in March. I am personally going to be dressing up as Kane because obviously I'm not trying to spend any money right now, so that way I can save up for wanting to move out sometime next year. I don't know when, but it's going to end up trying to happen. And I'm going to take you guys on a grand tour when I actually do that. Next weekend we are going to be going to the tattoo parlor, so that way I can kind of give you guys an insight on what I might be trying to get a tattoo of when the time comes around. It's probably going to be my birthday. That's going to be the time that I will get the tattoo, possibly. So like I said, if I find anything there, awesome. If I don't, then what I'll do is I will maybe do a drawing tutorial, and I can kind of give you guys an inside scoop on how I draw some of my stuff. I know the last one I did was Majin Vegeta, and that was like a long time ago, like maybe 2 years ago, possibly. But like I said, I'm always here to, give you guys the best entertainment that I possibly can, whether it's humor, whether it's horror, cosplay, gaming, anything like that. I'm always willing to do that type of stuff for you guys. So, make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up, and we are going to be doing an extreme sour candy challenge. We're going to try to do that. That, and then also I might do a brain freeze challenge too as well. I'm not too sure about it. I'm thinking about it. I just got to be able to find somebody who's willing to, ask me questions while I'm the one sitting in the bathtub full of ice. And obviously I'm gonna have shorts on, so I'm not gonna sit there in my bare underwear. That's not gonna happen. But anyways, yes, I'm going to be dressing up as Kane in the Kira Con coming up in March at UNCC school. I did show you guys all the stuff I've already gotten for the suit. I did get a wig. I think I showed you guys that too already. But if I didn't, then I will definitely show you guys that soon. I'm really looking forward to this Comic-Con, and then there is going to be a Heroes Con coming up towards the end of May. So I'm looking forward to that too as well. So like I said, give this video a thumbs up. Hope you guys enjoyed the content that I put out here, and yes, we are going to be continuing to do more of this stuff. So I'm hoping you guys are looking forward to the next 5 states we're going to be taking a look at, and the creepiest places in those 5 states. So this haunted series is already starting, and I hope you guys are ready for a bumpy ride. And then we're going to be going back to gaming, and I'm actually going to try to do a news channel too. So what I'm going to do is probably take a break from the gaming series channel, and then kind of just jump straight into the news channel. I'm only going to do like maybe a couple, maybe 1 or 2 here and there, and then kind of jump back to the gaming series. So that's kind of what my ideas are going to be like as of now. If I change it, I'll let you guys know as well. So this has been Simulator Addiction 22, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. And make sure you guys follow me up on social media, on Instagram and Facebook. I will have I'm gonna try to possibly have videos of these scary places up on Instagram. So I'm hoping you guys are willing to, sit back and watch. Maybe kind of get an idea of, of not wanting to see or go there. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this. And like I said, follow me on social media, and I will have the videos up. Not this video, but the video of like the actual incidents, possibly, or just an incident that went that occurred during that time and place. So, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time.